The views expressed on the Nova Society are those of the panelists and guests and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of the Phoenix Research Institute or any institution which any panel member is associated.
Welcome back to the Nova Society. I'm your host, Dr. Brooklyn Ann Weldon, and I'm here with my panel, Dr. Scott Gershwer and Dr. Mark Bount. Today we will be answering listener emails, and we have a question from Lester, who lives in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Asks, so Trump is trying to regain some popularity by floating short-term promises to his base, his 50-year mortgage idea, and telling people he wants to give everyone a $2,000 check. Does the panel think this will affect his popularity? In my opinion, a 50-year mortgage would primarily benefit mortgage lenders, allowing them to collect more interest and placing people with these long mortgage terms into lifelong payments. Yes, Lester, I agree with you completely. It's something like $1 million or something in interest. I forget what the calculation is. It's an incredible amount of interest.
It's a lot.
It's huge. And I don't know about a $2,000 check from him. Mark Scott, what do you say?
Well, I think it's like a $2,000 check, seems like a little bit of a bribe. And I would say that, look, the last time they did this, the American people stretched that money, like they had it for a while. It was a little crazy. It seemed to be like the most money that anybody had ever seen, like some of these people had ever seen in their lives. And, obviously it created, pretty good economic upturn, right? Of course. But this time, if you're getting $2,000 and you're not getting SNAP, then the people who rely on SNAP are going to have to use that money just to keep food on the table. And I don't think that money lasts that long under that circumstance. And, the hit to the national debt is high compared to the value that you would get. And then as far as the mortgage thing is concerned, it's like you want to be, if you have a mortgage for your entire life, which is like 50 years, let's say the average homeowner, first-time homeowner now is 40. So 40 and 50, that's you're going to be paying your mortgage till you're 90 years old. How does that sound? So you might as well just be a renter because you're not getting anything out of that. So that was just a crazy idea that somebody told him, and he kind of took it and ran with it in his stupidity and ignorance. But I don't think it's a real, I don't think Scott Bessent or anybody else who is still got gray matter between their ears would think that that's a good idea.
No. I mean, the 50-year mortgage, I got thinking about the 50-year mortgage thing first when I read this, and I'm thinking, all right, so let's say you buy your house at 25. You're going to pay it till you're 75 years old. And as Brooklyn points out, the amount of interest that'll accumulate in that 50 years will be staggering. I mean, let's face it. When you buy a house today and you take out a 30-year mortgage, that interest is staggering. And it's not going to be probably fixed. It's probably going to be APR. Oh, and APR does not mean when it says adjustable percentage rate, it never goes down. I don't care. People have this idea of, well, I chose APR because it could go down. I'm sorry. I have never seen APR go down once in all my years of owning houses. No. And I'm thankful that I don't have a mortgage. It's just ridiculous. So I don't know where this idea came from. The idea that it makes it more affordable for somebody at low income to buy a house. Again, the mortgage rate is one thing. I know that having lived in New York, having owned property in New York, growing up, and now living in South Carolina, the house that I own today in South Carolina would be more expensive than it would be in New York, say in the upstate of New York, only for one reason. Because the taxes, the property taxes in South Carolina are like $1,000 a year. In New York, they're like $10,000 a year, and they build that into your mortgage. So if the property value is higher, you're basically, forced out of the market simply because of your property taxes. Oh, and your home insurance. That goes on to it too. So it's just not for the house itself. It is for the taxes. It is for the homeowner's insurance, all that, all that peripheral stuff that you're going to put into it. So it's an interesting dynamic on how it goes. Could this benefit somebody? I guess, maybe, this 50-year mortgage thing. I mean, if you're willing, as like Scott said, why not just go out and rent a condo and be over and done with, and just have it be over and done with, and then you don't have to worry about a lot of that stuff. The $2,000, yeah, I agree with Scott. That's a bribe. That's simply a bribe. Yes, that may seem like an awful lot of money to some people. And I would say, now, he said everyone. So I'm wondering, is myself and my wife both going to get $2,000? Probably not. It'll probably be $2,000 for a family. Okay, fine. Now look at why, what it has cost you for these tariff prices over the period of time, over the first year, what it has cost you. And I can say right now, again, coffee here in South Carolina is about double what it was before. Probably $10 for a canister more than it was before. So times 52 weeks, because we buy a canister every week. That's $520. Well, you're giving me $2,000. Well, that's only paying back 520. That $520 that I've already spent. Beef prices, same way. So all you're really doing, you aren't getting money, that's going to be extra for you to use because we're doing so good. You're basically getting a little bit of money to soften the cost increase from the tariffs. That's what you're basically getting it from. Oh, and by the way, after you get this check, you're not going to get it again. And as long as the tariffs stay in, you're behind the eight ball. You're always going to be behind. So, yeah, is this a ploy? Yes, it is. Will he regain some popularity? Oh, sure. Sure, there's going to be a redneck or two going to be out there and say, Trump gave me a check and this is great. And, I'll follow him to the end of the earth because I got $2,000. Well, if that's the position you're in, I'm sorry. But it's buying votes. It's buying popularity. And if you really sit down and think about it, it isn't going to do a whole hell of a lot for you. So there you go, Lester. In Pittsburgh, go Pirates, go Penguins. Pittsburgh Penguins are doing pretty good.
And don't forget the $5,000 Doge check. There was supposed to be a Doge.
Yeah.
Doge check for $5,000 per American and that, or per family or whatever, which was never really specified, I guess. And I remember listening to a woman asking Elon Musk when she was going to get her Doge check. And he was all flustered and saying, well, there weren't going to be any Doge checks, but really the savings was, I don't know what he said the savings was, it was really great that Trump was president or some such malarkey. But she was really expecting a check. The whole thing was a con and a bribe.
A hoax. A witch hunt. A hoax and a witch hunt. So yeah, I mean, absolutely. Lester, here's the deal. We're dealing with a con man, and one of the best things a con man does is tell the people that he owes money, the check's in the mail.
Show the money. Show the money. Always show the money when you're a con man.
That's right. You probably have more chance of winning Publishers Clearinghouse than you do of having any of this mean anything, or you see that check. So hopefully that's that.
Yeah, or more chance of being bitten by a land shark than
land shark.
half of Trump's not being a liar about this and not running another con and a grift to make sure he and his family and his buddies do well financially. So yeah, Lester, as Mark says, Trump will regain popularity, which with some people, which will be fleeting, I would expect, with some people, and will continue with others, depending on their level of slavish cultishness and fealty to Trump. So yeah, we will see what happens. But who knows? Trump was going to give $10,000 to air traffic controllers who stayed in their jobs or something. And I think it was Laura Ingraham who asked him where he was going to get the money from. He said, "Oh, he didn't know, but he would get it from somewhere. He always gets money from somewhere." And I found that remark completely staggering. That he had no idea where he was going to get the money from, but it would come from somewhere. So he probably doesn't know where the $2,000 is going to come from either. So I will believe it when it arrives in the mail and when it actually goes through the bank and is processed. So I hope we answered your question. Scott, did you want to add anything? No? So thank you, Lester, for your question. That's a good question. We will see. I don't expect really anything fabulous from Trump or his buddies. We appreciate your spending time with us on the Nova Society, and if you are not yet subscribed as a listener, please do so on the platform of your choice. Subscribing is free, and we look forward to having you again as a listener on the Nova Society.
The Nova Society is a production of Nova Society Media, a division of the Phoenix Research Institute. We'd like to thank our production partners, Buzzsprout, who hosts the Nova Society, Audacity, our editing partners, Apple iTunes, the largest source of podcasts and music on the internet, Spotify, the most popular platform for the Nova Society, and iHeartRadio, your source for all things music and podcasting. The Nova Society is available on all of these and other quality platforms listed in our description. We'd also like to thank all of our listeners. Without your support, the Nova Society would not be possible. If you have a question or comment, we can be reached at nova.society.podcast@gmail.com. So for Dr. Brooklyn Ann Weldon, Dr. Scott Gershwer, and all of our production partners here at the Nova Society, I'm Dr. Mark Bound. Remember, the true power in society is knowledge. Thanks for listening, and we will see you again next time.
Hi, everyone. This is JJ, the co-founder of Good Pods. If you haven't heard of it yet, Good Pods is like Goodreads or Instagram, but for podcasts. It's new, it's social, it's different, and it's growing really fast. There are more than 2 million podcasts, and we know that it is impossible to figure out what to listen to. On Good Pods, you follow your friends and podcasters to see what they like. That is the #1 way to discover new shows and episodes. You can find Good Pods on the web or download the app. Happy listening!